In the TED Talk I watched, it was about body language. This video relates to Chapter 4's Social Perception, How We Come to Understand Other People. It talks about facial and body expressions in power posing from the book. Body language is nonverbal communication. It is communicating how I feel about a situation and how you feel about a situation. These judgments can predict meaningful life outcomes like who we date and who we hire for a job. In one study from Tufts University, they watched 30 seconds of a soundless clip of a doctor and patient interaction, and their judgments of their body language determined if the physician would be sued or not. Another study from Princeton showed that the judgments of political candidates' faces predict 70% of race outcomes by looking at them for only 1 second. Even emojis can be used as body language, and if used well, can claim added value to the conversation. Amy Cuddy's main focus is nonverbal expressions of power and dominance. In the animal kingdom, they make themselves big, and it's about expanding and opening up. Monkeys, snakes, and birds are examples of this, as well as humans do the same. When you are born, blind or not, and you have won something big, you extend your arms above your head, making yourself very wide and big. When we feel powerless, we do the opposite by curling up and crossing our arms. When it comes to power, we tend to do the opposite of them and not mirror them. Power in the classroom is generally related to gender. Women tend to do things smaller by sitting hunched over and raising their hand quietly and short, but it also has to do with how well students want to participate. She realized that most of the students don't like to participate, so she wanted to know if you could really fake it until you make it. She wanted to know if our nonverbals govern how we think and feel about ourselves. Some evidence says we do. We smile when we're happy. Her next question was, do our bodies change our minds? Powerful people tend to be more powerful, optimistic, and assertive. They tend to take more risks. There is even a difference in physiological traits. The two hormones are testosterone and cortisol, which are dominance and stress hormones. Powerful leaders tend to have high testosterone and low cortisol. Power is not just about being dominant, but how you react to stress in order to be a good leader. Her next question was, is there a difference between high power poses and low power poses? For the experiment, when in the high power pose, 80% would gamble, and when in the low power pose, only 60% would when looking at risk tolerance. Now, when looking at testosterone, high power poses have about a 20% increase, and low power people have about a 10% increase. When looking at cortisol, high power people have a 25% decrease, and lower power people have a 15% increase. So our nonverbals do govern how we think and feel about ourselves. She wanted to know if power posing for a few minutes really changes your life in meaningful ways and where to apply it. The main area they focused was on a job interview. The experiment they used was to simulate a job interview, but to put them with an interviewer that used absolutely no nonverbals, which would make them uncomfortable and really increase their cortisol hormone significantly. They then looked at the tapes after and could determine who did the high or low power poses before. The main takeaway is to don't fake it until you make it. Fake it until you become it. Tiny tweaks can become big changes. Try the power poses to get your brain in the best confidence level for any nervous task you need to overcome.